Hello YouTube, Ken here with another Black Desert Online video for you, and this is going to be my beginner's guide to Hashashin Succession, and this is going to be my last video in the Hashashin. After this I'm going to be retiring him and turning him into a boss alt, and the reason why I'm going to do that is because he's really not the class for me. I found that the Awakening is kind of fun to play, but the sustain problems really annoy me, and the Succession really I did not enjoy playing at all. So as I go through this little beginner's guide here, keep that in mind, and if the video sounds a little ranty, that is because I did not really enjoy the Succession kit as much as the Awakening and as much as some other classes. So yeah, keep that in mind. Well, the Succession is a lot more, requires a lot more babysitting and handling and careful playing. So if you're into classes that require more skill to play, then the Hashashin Succession will be more for you. But if you want a more well-rounded kit, the Awakening will be a little better with the better super armor AoE skills. They have a wider range and are point-blank AoEs that can kill everything around you. They're much better mobility and the grab. So the Awakening I think is a better, well-rounded setup for your Hashashin play. But if you want to be mostly doing PvP, I think the Succession might be the one for you because it has a lot of fast, big damage skills and fast bursts of ability that can get you to your opponent and get him killed fast and then run out and then go away and hide. So yeah, so let's get into let's go there to the place for the dummies so that we can show off and talk about the skills here. All right, so here we are in this little island here, and just as I started with my Awakening video, I'm going to be talking about the mobility here first so we can get that out of the way. And if you watch my Awakening video, you saw that I was able to get from here all the way over there in a few seconds at the cost of my entire mobility, or my stamina bar. With this guy here, with the Succession kit, is not nearly as much mobility. You get, you can start with a jump and do this and then go here, and then you're pretty much out of, I mean, if you really want, that's pretty much it right here. If you really want, you can do alternate between your dash and this thing here, but if you look at my stamina bar here, it's gone now, right? So you probably don't want to be doing this. This is useful for some grinding areas where you have groups that are close by and you just want to move between the groups while you're one-shotting things, but it's not really going to get you too far, and it's not really going to get you not really going to do a lot of AoE damage. It's just really for easy to kill mobs. But the cool thing about the Succession is that your Sand Slicer, I believe it's called, is your left click skill, can now be spammed off cooldown on its own cooldown. So you can use it as I just showed you there, or you can just also keep doing things like that and then just keep teleporting, and then you go another one of these. But no, of course it uses a lot of stamina, as you can see here. Your stamina will be always low if you're using it, because it does cost a lot of stamina. Let's see, if you go to 100% stamina, 100 stamina, and I use Sand Warp and Sand Slicer, now we're 81. So every time you use that, of course, we're going to be using other skills as well in the middle. So there you go. I wasted half of my stamina bar in just a few moves there. And in another video that I made, my pre-awakening guide video, I kind of talked, somebody posted in the comments about the teleport skill, which he does have, and I did mention in the video as well, the teleport skill, which is this one here, which is another mobility skill. But as I mentioned in my pre-awakening video, you're going to end up being stuck in the middle of a group of mobs, and if you're going to be grinding high-end areas, you're going to get stunned and maybe killed here. The other problem is if you ever play any class that has teleport skills, you know that first of all, you need a target for you to teleport. If I just use it like this, I end up in the same spot, number one. And number two, if you have any hills or any obstacles on the ground, you're not going to be able to go any far at all. This is really only useful for mobility. If you're grinding in an area where it's kind of flat like this, then you can go ahead and teleport. The range is pretty good, as you just saw there. But of course, it's also hard to know if the target is in range or not. Sometimes, especially with the desyncing problems the BDO has. So a lot of times you might just waste this skill and end up being stuck in the snow, teleporting to the same place where you were before. But if you can master this skill, the range is pretty good. I believe as long as the crosshair is red, you should be able to hit the target. If I do it from here when it's not red, I just end up in the same place. And of course, if your target is moving, you're going to do what I just did here, which is land in the same spot, facing backwards, so you can get back attacked and destroyed. But yeah, so that's it for pretty much for the mobility. I mean, you still have this tornado thing here, the piercing tornado, and you have your forward and F, which is this auto tumble here, which of course you can combine to do fancy stuff like this and keep going. But as you can see here, it's not, no, it looks fast, but it's definitely not as fast as the Awakening. I don't really see all that. I don't really see this skill here as really a mobility skill. It's good maybe in PvP as a repositioning skill, because you can get behind your target if you use forward and F, and you got super armor, and you can do this, and now you're behind here, and you can do all sorts of combos for back attacks. But as far as being mobility skill, I don't know if you can call that a mobility skill. And your Ascend Warp now does a second dash. I don't believe it did that on the Pre-Awakening, so you got a second dash here that you can do. It does 2 dashes in a row. So if you start with the jump and do your left click when you jump, and then you just land it on your dash, left click again, and then you can do the double dash. You get to far enough for PvP, but then you're gonna have to keep doing this. I don't know, and your stamina, you can see here, goes down pretty fast. So 3 of those dashes and you're down. So again, if you're grinding in one-shotable areas, you're gonna be running out of stamina quite easily. And if you're grinding on high-end areas, you might be running out of HP, because it does not have a lot of ways to heal. They did change his tornado, his shift Q now has a heal, this skill here, but it's not a great one, and you're pretty vulnerable, especially because this is one of his only, I think, castable skill that does not have any protection, no super armor, no forward guard. All his other AoEs have it, but this one does not. So you can use it to heal, but it's going to be kind of dangerous, and it's not going to heal a lot unless you hit a big group of mobs. And of course, doesn't help that the cooldown for this skill is 13 seconds here at max level. So you can only heal 20 HP per hit every 13 seconds, and the range is not fantastic. You can see it looked like he was gonna hit that guy, but he missed. Your MP is not too much of a problem as long as you're paying attention. You can same tricks that you used to recover your mana in the Awakening, you can also use here, which is your Piercing Tornado, and then your right click. This should take care of most of your mana needs as long as you're using these skills fairly often. And now your Shift E, this skill here, is also recovering. Also recovers some mana, so you can use that as well. So you can do use that to supplement your mana recovery skills. His new succession skills, the 2 prime new skills, are the back and C, which is this skill here, which has a wind up, a long out wind up if you don't cancel it with other skills, and the tornado. This auto tornado here that he spawns those tornadoes far away, and they're fairly useful. They're actually pretty good. The back and C, you can actually cancel it out of pretty much a lot of skills. Even your dash, if you just do this, and you can cancel like that, and it comes out immediately. Or if you use your Ridge Reaver, I believe is what it's called, you can do this, and it comes out immediately. If you also do that, you can cancel into it. It's a pretty good skill. It's quick damage. It does, let's see here, let's find it here on the skill thing. It does 9 times about 1200 damage, 1200% damage, and it's a DP debuff and a 50% crit chance and a float on the last hit. Now the other skill is, like I said, is a tornado, and this is going to be probably pretty good for PvP because it's a stiff on each hit of the tornadoes, and it allows you to catch somebody by surprise from a pretty big distance here. So if your target is over there, you can shoot your tornadoes and you can dash. And while he's stiffened, you can get here and attack him. Now, the problem is going to be what I just showed you right there. I used my sand slicer and I went right through the enemy. So that may or may not be a thing that you want. So you might get confused. One of the main problems that I have with the class, aside from the sustain problem, is the lack of precision. It seems like I go through mobs a lot of the times, and when I'm not expecting to. So I had to quickly turn my camera around and try to figure out what I'm doing and where I am. So it's going to take a little bit more skill to get used to these issues, the going through mobs, the lack of collision issues. But if you're willing to put in the time to get better, you can be pretty effective because it has a lot of hard, quick hits. So for PvP, the Succession might be pretty good. Although it doesn't have the grab, which is what the Awakening has. I couldn't really settle on a combo that I wanted to do, but the obvious ones would be combos that would involve your back and right click to get the damage buff, 20 AP buff for all AP buff. You should probably find a way to get your 30 AP buff skill, which is going to be this skill over here, the last one I just used. You get 30 monster AP buff if you're going to be grinding. And we'll talk about skill add-ons here at the end of the video. We should probably also be taking your kick, which is your back and F for the accuracy bonus right there. Right. And after, if you hold your left mouse button after the kick, you can do a dive bomb kind of thing like this. Pretty fast hit. And now you got the buffs from your sand slicer plus your backflip. So this skill is clearly not for damage, it's only for your accuracy buff. But again, if you do this, and then you can add your shift and right click at the end for the 30% damage. But then I think one of my buffs were cancelled. Let's try this again. Oh, there you go. So now you got the crit chance damage, 30% crit chance if your attack buff and all that. And then of course you can use spacebar and right click again to get the 30 AP. Something like this. There you go. Now you got about 55 AP plus 9 accuracy plus 4 evasion plus other things that I forgot, but lots of buffs you can get on this quick little combo here. And then of course you have your shift and left click, which you should probably also be using a lot to complement your combos. No buffs there, nothing fancy. This skill is just a good way to do damage fast, and it's a decent AoE. You can see here I hit all these 4 mobs here. And so if you want a more cone AoEs, this is mostly of what the Succession have, is the cone AoEs. The only point blank, just like in Pre-Awakening, AoE that he has is this one here, which is Descent. And the cool thing about Descent is that now you can also activate it by doing Shift and C. Before, in Pre-Awakening, you can only use it from the skill slot, but now you can use it with Shift and C, which allows you to do some cool stuff like this. I don't know if you could do this quickly before with the skill slot. Let's check it out. Now I'm going to try with the skill slot here. Yeah, I think it's a bit slower. It may just be me, but it feels that is definitely faster if you use Shift and C for Descent. So that's pretty cool. You can add it to your combos a little more easily, a little more smoothly. So that's pretty cool. And it makes the class a little smoother to play. You can do this, and as you can see, it comes out immediately, and it has a lot of cancels with his dash. You can also do the same thing with his other prime skill, the one of the new ones. If you just do this, it comes out immediately. You can also do the same with your shift and right click. If you do dash and do shift and right click, it comes out. I believe you can also do it with your shift and left click. If you just do this, it comes out immediately as well. But yeah, so shift and left click, shift and right click, and back and C. Those skills all work, can be cancelled with the out of send warp for easy of use. So pretty fast class, fast strikes. You still have the AoEs for grinding, these things here if you want to grind easier, chiller, is that a word? A more chill kind of grind. You can see the range on the shift and E is still pretty awesome. So if you want a slower pace grind, he still has the option, just like in the Awakening, you can have kind of 2 styles of grinding. If you want to do a slow pace grind, you can use your last key inputs grind. You have your AoEs. But yeah, so you get the 2 styles of grinding here: the quick grinding or the slow grinding. One is a smaller cone AoEs. The other one's going to be a larger AoE damage area. I would focus on your sand slicer, your tail cutter, and your which one is this? This is your shift and left click, which is this thing here. There's a vacuum. Of course, if you cancel the animation, then you don't get the vacuum. I'm pretty sure. Right, let's see here. Yeah, so if you cancel this with the dash, you don't get the vacuum by the looks of it. Let me do right in the middle here, see if it still pulls them. Yeah, you lose the vacuum if you cancel. So if you need the vacuum, if you want to gather up mobs, you're gonna have to not use this skill for canceling. You're going to hold it. So the advantage of not canceling, of course, is that not only you vacuum, but you also turn them around. So you can do this. You can see back attacks there. But if you just want the quick damage, which is not a lot of damage, but if you're grinding an easier area, you can just cancel and do this. As you can see here, I hit him from over here. So pretty good range. Now, despite of what I said in the beginning of the video, I don't want to make you think that this is a terrible class to play. It's just there are too many key inputs. You just gotta always keep dashing and doing this and this kind of stuff, and boom, 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 boom. It's just way too many hits. I like the Awakening better. It's a little slower pace. You are able to cancel your Shift E with the Shifting Q, so it looks something like this. Not sure why you would want to do that, but there might be a case for it. If you want to do that, you can do Shift E, and at any point, once they gather up, I guess it's probably the best time you can hold them together. Hit the Shift Q, but it's not like they're combining. I'm pretty sure once you start the Shift Q, your Shift E is cancelled. If you're gonna PvP, you should probably take this teleport here. I would, of course, also level up this one here so you can get the AP at least until you get the 20 AP. I think level 5 we give it 20 AP. So if you want to stop this back and right click at level 5, you can. This skill here is your teleport, so you should probably get this one. I have a problem with this skill though. It's really annoying. Sometimes it comes out when you do Shift E for some reason, probably because it just reads your E command, and that's annoying because sometimes you want to use this AoE skill here, and for some reason you use a teleport instead. There's probably a method to this madness. And then this here is your spacebar. You can take this. Don't necessarily need to level up all the way, but the more important part here is your follow-up, which is your right click after your spacebar, and this is going to give you, if you put an add-on that I put here, it can give you the 30 monster AP. Pretty big AP buff that you can keep up at all times. Get your dashes here up to prime so that you can dash twice. His succession passive is accuracy, which is great because it does not have a lot of inherent accuracy buffs on his skills. All right, so one cool thing here that you can do with Hashashin, with two skills that he has, you can actually, if you send warp, well, after you use the skill, you can actually kind of not cancel the animation, but you continue the animation after the send warp. And one of them is his succession, the back and C, which is this one here with the long animation. If you dash, you can see here that he still casts the skill at the end of the dash, and it might be a good way to bait people, maybe, to do this guy, right? Because you can fake that you mess up your thing, and then you do this and still attack them. Maybe a 200 IQ move there. The other skill that you can also do that is with your shift and left click. You can do this, and you can see that it still comes up. So, but yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say about the Hashashin Succession kit here. Let's go talk to the skill manager so we can take a look at the skill add-ons. All right, so here we are with Mr. Skill Manager in Dragon, and you can see here I got my skill add-ons. This is the one that gives you the 30 monster AP and 10 DP. I would recommend taking that because 30 monster AP is not bad. And then I got for the piercing tornado here, I got I don't know why I have the dot here, but for some reason I put a dot and a movement speed. Buff 10 seconds of 4% movement speed. Let's see if we can find something better than a dot to put there. We can put PvP damage, we can put accuracy 3%. I already have the movement speed here. Not a lot, as you can see here. You can get mana reduction on the target, or I guess this is air smash, 10% chance. Yeah, so not really anything better to put there, so that's probably why. And then you have your sand slicer. I got evasion 4% and mana recovery or HP recovery 10. Doesn't hit a lot, so you probably don't want to do HP recovery here because it's not going to recover a lot of HP. But again, there isn't anything else really. You can get a mana recovery if you want to do that. Again, not a lot of hits, so I wouldn't do anything that recovers anything on hits on this skill because it don't hit a lot. But if for PvP here, you can get attack speed and casting speed and movement speed debuff here. So only 4%. So this is maybe not the best skill for add-ons, but I don't know if I have anything else. Let's check it out here real quick. What else can we get here? You could do Descent, 10 PvP damage. There's some other PvP debuffs here. There's a dot and a resource reduction, the mana reduction, or accuracy, 5% accuracy. This is actually not bad. 5% accuracy is got 12 seconds duration, and the skill's got a 12-second cooldown. But the problem is there's nothing else here that I want to put there. So you can get your kick here. What can you put in your kick? It's a 5-second cooldown. You can put 10 PvP, so if you're going to PvP, getting the accuracy from your quick kick might be good. You can also get dodge here. You can get movement speed also, but I already have that from a tornado. and you can get HP recovery 20 per hit, but you're only going to hit 6 times in a very short range. You can get a shift and right click, a left click here. If you don't want to get the 30 PvE damage, monster damage, if you think that's too annoying to use that skill, you can get your PvE 25 PvE damage here, and accuracy, that might be something that you want to get. And then you have here your Ridge Reaver, which I'm getting 5% accuracy and 5% evasion, so these are kind of overlapping here. You can choose which one to remove. And then I got Tail Cutter here for some HP recovery and mana recovery. The HP recovery is not really that useful because it doesn't hit a lot, but the mana recovery, I definitely do recommend that you put on Tail Cutter for the extra mana recovery. And then the last one here is one of his new prime skills where he throws the tornadoes down the road. This is going to give you attack speed 7% for 5 seconds and a 10% crit chance. If you do what I showed you a little earlier in the video, right, to start your PvP combo, you can catch your target by surprise, stiff it, and then rush in and with a 7% attack speed bonus and really execute the guy. So yeah, that's going to be it for you for the skill add-ons. But yeah, I think that's going to be it here from my Hashashin Succession Beginner's Guide. Again, this is not a pro elite sand eater Hashashin main guide here. It's just something to get you started, to some tips and tricks and my thoughts and opinions on how you can best use the class in the beginning. I'm sure once you master the class, you're going to be able to play a lot better than I did. And I hope you can find ways around to counter the sustain issues that I had with the class. Man, again, I think it's going to be more for PvP. The Succession kit is better for PvP than for PvE. So if you're more into PvP, feel free to take this kit. If you're more into PvE though, I would recommend the Awakening. But as always, if you liked the video and thought it was informative, I'd appreciate it if you could hit that like button. And if you want to see more video content from me, don't forget to subscribe. And we also have the join button here, so if you want to support the channel, I would appreciate it. It really helps out. But also come join our Discord server and our Twitch community. Links for all those things down below. Stay tuned here for the patch notes video coming out, and our next weekly video is going to be the Odalita kind of tour, resource, recipes, kind of information guide here. So if you're looking forward to Odalita coming out, keep an eye out for the video coming out next week. Yeah, that's going to be it from me from now, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.